This is In These Mountains, a look at the cases that we're keeping an eye on for this 28th of May, 2026. Michael McKinney II, the Prestonsburg dentist accused of helping his son conceal evidence in the murder of Amber Spradlin, has requested that Judge Eddie Coleman and the court release him from home incarceration and drug testing requirements. The motion notes that McKinney has been in home incarceration for about 21 months with no violations and no new criminal charges. It also says the random drug testing requirements are having a negative impact on his business, since he's required to leave patients waiting for up to 2 hours when he's called to give a sample. Commonwealth's attorney Brent Turner indicated at a hearing May 11th that he would agree to the release of McKinney and Josh Mullins if the court thought it was warranted, but he would oppose any attempt to release M.K. McKinney III, who is actually accused of murdering Amber. Many people feel that none of them should be released under any circumstances whatsoever. A Pike County woman is facing charges after Kentucky State Police say a man reported being cut on the hand with a knife during a domestic dispute, and she's the one who did it. She happens to be his girlfriend. Heaven Renee Hall is 23 of Pikeville. She allegedly cut her boyfriend with a knife. State police say the caller told troopers that the argument began after a disagreement over a song and that they had both been drinking. The complaint states the man reported he attempted to leave the home as the argument escalated, and that Hall struck him with a closed fist in the face before grabbing a knife and cutting his hand. Hall told troopers she cut her boyfriend after asking him to leave the house multiple times. She also told troopers that he had held her down, but she did not have any visible marks, and said that he did not physically assault her that night, according to the complaint. Now, she was arrested and charged with second-degree assault, domestic violence, and taken to the Pike County Detention Center. The search is continuing for a man who went missing in Knott County earlier this year. Sean Reisner was last seen the 26th of March in the Big Branch community of Hindman. A $15,000 reward is being offered for information that is leading to him being found. The former Letcher County sheriff, who's accused of shooting and killing District Judge Kevin Mullins, has been scheduled to appear for a status hearing next month in Leslie County. In March, Steins filed an affidavit seeking the appointment of a special judge, and he was citing a 2022 video and arguing that Judge Christopher Coren would not be impartial based on a photo of Coren and Mullins sitting together. The Kentucky Supreme Court dismissed the motion. This isn't a whodunit. This is a why did he do it case. I'm Chris Slone, and that is In These Mountains, a look at the cases we're keeping an eye on for this 28th of May, 2026. Blackwater, Kentucky. It's like every small town in America. Peaceful, quiet, until the population increased by 1. Some things aren't meant to be understood, but they should be respected.
Did you see that?
Blackwater, Kentucky in the 1960s. Never heard of it? I'm not surprised. It was a small place, barely recognizable as a city. In 1965, Blackwater was located in the rural, rugged terrain of Morgan County, Kentucky, and it was a community defined by the transition between traditional Appalachian life and the creeping influence of modern infrastructure. By the mid-1960s, the economy of the region was in a state of change. Now, while coal mining remained a significant employer in the broader eastern Kentucky area, Blackwater was heavily reliant on subsistence and small-scale commercial farming. 1965 was a peak era for burley tobacco as a primary cash crop. Families in Blackwater would have spent the late summer months housing tobacco in wooden barns that dotted the landscape. Small-scale logging operations were also common, providing new materials for local mills. There were still stores in nearby places, and in Blackwater, on the town's main street, stood Madeline's Bridal Boutique. Inside the boutique, the only thing racing was the hearts of the women who dared to step inside. She sat on a velvet pedestal in a corner. Gilda, a beautiful doll about 3 feet high, dressed in the finest hand-stitched Victorian material. To the casual shoppers, she was a masterwork of craftsmanship. To the owners, she was a nightmare in velvet. It started with small things: a misplaced pair of shears, a pin found in the hem of a gown that had been cleared just minutes before. But in the late 60s, Gilda wasn't just hiding tools. She was reclaiming the shop. Shop owners found their morning coffee turned to vinegar. Brides-to-be reported feeling cold porcelain fingers brushing their necks during fittings. And then there was the night the lights went out, and the only thing visible in the dark was the reflection of Gilda's eyes in every single mirror. Now, we pull back the veil on the doll that turned the happiest day of a woman's life into a living ghost story. This is episode 6 of The Darkest Stories, the haunting story of Gilda. Here, with her tale, is 606 Paranormal's Stacia Underwood Gullett.
In the autumn of 1965, the little town of Blackwater, Kentucky smelled of wet leaves, coal smoke, and cold river fog. Main Street carried the slow rhythm of the small town life. The barber shop, you can hear the radio humming Hank Williams. Church bells on Sundays. Teenagers leaning against the Chevrolets beneath that buzzing street lamp. And then halfway down the block stood a bridal shop called Madeline's Bridal and Formal. The shop itself was lovely enough during the day. Satin gowns floated in the front display window. Beneath the golden chandeliers, veils draped like spider silk from mannequin heads. Women traveled from neighboring counties just to buy their dresses here. But nobody, and I mean nobody, liked walking past that window after dark. Because of Gilda. She sat in a small velvet chair near the front glass every evening, precisely at 6 o'clock, after Mrs. Madeline Collier locked the doors. 3 feet tall, with that pale porcelain-colored skin, strawberry blonde hair cut short and straight, just beneath her jawline. Gilda wore a tiny wedding dress, stitched with pearl buttons no bigger than teeth. Her face was beautifully made. Too beautifully made, really. The cheeks were rosy, the lips soft and pink, the gray-blue eyes glossy and alive beneath those delicate lashes. But her expressions were wrong. People swore the doll hated him. Not everyone, just certain people. Old Mr. Petty from the pharmacy claimed that Gilda glared at him every night as he closed his store. The teenagers crossing the street would suddenly stop laughing, especially after noticing the doll staring directly at them from the window. Women entering the bridal shop often whispered that Gilda's mouth twisted into an ugly little smile, especially when the customers tried on dresses. One bride refused to marry in the gown that she'd purchased after spotting the doll watching her from inside a fitting room mirror. She enjoys it. the bride said later. That doll enjoys frightening people. Most folks laugh the stories off publicly. Privately, they cross the street to avoid the window, especially after midnight. That was when the expressions changed. Truck drivers heading home late swore Gilda moved closer to the glass after dark. Some nights, her face appeared sorrowful. Other nights, furious. Once, a boy delivering newspapers claimed that the doll pressed both hands against the inside of the window as he biked past her. The next morning, there she sat, normally in her lovely velvet chair. Mrs. Collier, she blamed imagination. People see what they want to see, she'd say, while dusting the doll's veil off. But even she avoided looking directly into Gilda's eyes for very long. There were other stories, too. A seamstress quit after hearing tiny footsteps moving across the ceiling after closing. Another employee swore that she heard a child giggling inside the stockroom, despite the building being empty. Then came the incident with Reverend Doyle. The preacher entered the shop one gray November afternoon, intending to bless the building after hearing complaints from his congregation. Witnesses said he stood silently before Gilda for nearly a full minute. Then, his expressions changed. He backed away slowly. "What is it?" Mrs. Collier asked. The Reverend never answered her. He simply left the store, pale as milk, climbed into his truck, and drove away. Following Sunday, he canceled his evening services for the first time in 23 years. After that, well, rumors spread through Blackwater like smoke under a door. Some claimed Gilda had belonged to a dead child. Others whispered that she came from New Orleans, shipped north in a coffin crate after a fire destroyed an old mansion. A drunken railroad worker insisted that the doll blinked at him while he passed the shop one rainy night. Nobody knew the truth, but everyone agreed on one thing. Gilda liked being watched, almost as much as she liked watching back. Winter soon settled over Kentucky, and it was hard that year. Ice glazed the sidewalks. Wind rattled the shop windows after the sunset. And then, just before Christmas, a woman named Eleanor Pike came running into Madeline's bridal during business hours. She burst through the door, half frozen and nearly hysterical. The customers turned immediately towards her. Mrs. Collier hurried from behind the counter. "Lord above, Eleanor, what happened?" She could barely breathe. That doll." The entire shop fell silent. Eleanor pointed shakily toward the front window, where Gilda sat motionless in her velvet chair. "She was outside of my damn house." Mrs. Collier laughed nervously. "Now, honey, Gilda's been here all night, so please calm down." No, I saw her," Eleanor's voice cracked. The woman's hands trembled so violently, she dropped her purse onto the floor. She was standing beneath my bedroom window. It was around 2 a.m, just staring up at me. A cold hush spread through the whole room. Eleanor described waking to those scratching sounds outside of her home. At first she thought they were branches, possibly brushing the siding of her home. Then came the tapping, tiny taps, then against the glass. When she pulled back the curtain, Gilda stood in the snow below her bedroom window, 3 feet tall, still smiling. The customers exchanged frightened looks. Mrs. Collier tried to interrupt again, but Eleanor kept speaking. Her voice became unraveling faster with every word. I thought someone was trying to play a prank," she whispered. "So I slowly leaned closer to the window." Tears began filling in her eyes. She was so shaken up. "And that's when I saw him. I saw it." Nobody moved in the store. Eleanor's face had gone completely white. "And there was something there behind her." The lights inside the bridal shop flickered once. A man, maybe, but too tall, too thin. Horns. Her breathing quickened. Its arms were hanging down almost to the ground. Black, but just as smoke. And its hands were wrapped around the doll like she was his puppet. He didn't know that he could be seen. But I saw him. One customer quietly began praying. Eleanor stared directly at Gilda now. The thing leaned forward while I watched. Its face came beside hers. Her voice dropped to almost nothing. And Gilda started laughing. The overhead lights suddenly snapped off. Darkness swallowed the bridal shop whole. Women screamed for several terrible seconds. Only the weak winter daylight from the front windows remained. And there, silhouetted the pale Kentucky snow outside, Gilda appeared to be standing, not sitting, standing. Tiny hands pressed against the glass, smiling, much wider than hard plastic should allow. When the lights returned moments later, the doll was back in the velvet chair exactly as before.
Oh my God.
But something else had changed. Her head, it tilted slightly towards Eleanor Pike, as if recognizing her, as if remembering.
Did you see that?
Madeline's bridal closed permanently 2 weeks later. Madeline vanished seemingly from Blackwater soon after, leaving dresses, receipts, and that awful doll behind. When the building was eventually emptied, workers claimed that Gilda the doll could not be found anywhere inside. Yet, people in that little town in Kentucky still talk about snowy nights when something small stands outside beneath their windows, watching. And farther back in the darkness behind it, they say there's something much taller shape, barely visible in the dark, holding the strings.
The core of Gilda's story isn't just about an individual nor the doll. It's about the environment that fosters such intense spiritual dread. In the isolated hollows of the region, the veil between the physical and the supernatural often feels thinner. The accounts of demonic influence in this episode suggest a force that is predatory, seeking out vulnerability and using it to fracture the peace of a household. It's a stark reminder of the old world fears that still breathe in the deep woods of Kentucky and the West Virginia Appalachians. Ultimately, this chapter of the darkest stories reminds us that some mysteries aren't meant to be solved. They are simply meant to be respected. The shadows in the corner of the room may just be tricks of the light, but in Gilda's world, they were something much more visceral. This story may leave you with one lingering question. If you stare into the dark long enough, what happens when it finally decides to stare back?
I know that, we've been on the bridge. We've been around the area that he murdered you in. And I know that, we come with pure hearts. Can you give me a sign that you were there with me? Can you tell me your name? I would love to know if you could somehow, some way talk to me and let me know that with what information that I've told you, we're headed in the right direction, sweetheart.
Could you make that needle jump for me, baby? I love you.
You got your sister right here. Can you come out and tell me who murdered you? Tell me everything. I don't know how much I care. We've talked many times now. Can you put your arm around, please?
Slone and Stacia Underwood. The Gatherings. True crime meets the paranormal.
And about 30 minutes into the hour. Hope that you all are having a good evening. And there's my Stace. Let me swap us around like I always do.
Buddy.
I know nobody really expected that last few seconds there, but that was kind of like a nod to Stace and what she does. When we went up to 22 Mine Road, we didn't go up there ghost hunting. We didn't go up there looking for a ghost. We didn't, because Mamie's made it very clear to me, and she's made it very clear to Stace that she's not a ghost. A spirit, maybe, but we went up there looking for, I guess you'd say, to make sure that we were on the right track for telling her story. The story is going to come in 4 different parts, the docufilm. And the first part got done today. And I saw a lot of people, which I am very, very, I'm very grateful that you guys liked, the darkest stories.
Yeah,
But I promise you, Between Two Worlds, the tragedy of Mamie Thurman, that story will blow these things out of the water. We have dumped everything we are into these. Not just everything we have, but everything that we are. And I went back today. The first chapter, and I've done them in chapters. The first chapter is called The Kentucky Roots. And it gives you a backstory of Mamie, where she came from, when she was born, the tragedy that was early on in her life at 4 months, 13 days old, when her mom died, and then her dad hitting the bottle and being abusive. Then chapter 2, which is going to be the double life. We start on that tomorrow. And then chapter 3, which is going to be, and I use this word in the loosest of possible terms, the trial. It wasn't a trial, it was a damn clown show. And then finally, it's not going to be called The Ghost of 22 Mine Road. It is going to be called The Legend of 22 Mine Road. Because in every legend, there's a little bit of truth, but there's a whole lot of
bullshit.
There's a whole lot of bullshit with it. And there is that. It's like the car being pushed backwards at 22 Mine Road. Mine will do it. I can take Lloyd's truck up there. It'll do it. Stace's car will do it. I could take Kinky and the Brain's car up there and do it. Kayla's car and do it. It's an optical illusion. Now, I want you to think about this just for a second. The legend or the story is she's trying to push you back up the hill so she can get justice. What the hell would she be pushing you back up a hill where she wasn't killed looking to die? It's not Mamie. Okay?
Science.
Yeah, it's science. That's exactly what it is. It's physics.
Science.
And if there, it's weird science, but if there is a spirit that wanders that road from time to time, it's probably, if it is her, she's asking for help, but not help there. Because let's face it, the woman was screwed over by that town. She was murdered in that town. She really probably doesn't want to go back to it if she can help it. And I'm guessing that she can help it. Now, Stace and I went there. Lloyd was with us. Crystal was with us. And we went and we saw these things. Hi, Kim. We went and we saw these, we went to Logan. We went to where she lived and where I think she died, which was right beside of it. She lived in a garage right beside of Harry and Louise. And I think that those are two of the people that are greatly responsible for murdering her.
You're right.
We went to Nybert Church. We went to, that's where she went to church. That's where she had a big role in that church. She put a lot of herself and a lot of her time into that. We drove on Stratton Street. We drove right by where the building was at that housed G.C. Murphy, and on the upper floor it had the Key Club. We drove by the old courthouse, which is now a newer courthouse because the other one burned or something. We were in that town, and I remember Lloyd and I getting out to walk into a gas station. We were getting Stace something to drink, and I think Crystal was getting some kind of lemon peanut M&Ms or something. I don't know, but
Lemon ones.
yeah, they were good too. They taste like
Yeah,
lemon.
they were.
It tastes like lemon cake. Girl's got good. She got good taste.
Yeah, I need some more of those.
Yes,
Since I can't have meat.
but I remember looking at Lloyd and saying,
Hmm.
does it not feel like this town's got a cloud over it? And he stopped and he looked around and he just nodded. He said, yeah, it does. And we weren't being, goofy Chris and Lloyd. We were being Chris and Lloyd. And I said, Lloyd, does this not feel just? And he said, yeah, it does. It feels different here. It feels, and it does. Did it not, Lloyd?
Yes.
The whole place just felt different. And we went on about our way, and we didn't spend a great deal of time there, but I wanted Stace, because I tell you what happened when we pulled up to 22 Mine Road. We weren't, when we got to where the site was that her body was dumped like garbage, I pulled off the road and Stace just got, she didn't say nothing, and she went right to it, and she was sick as a dog. She said, I cannot stand to look at this. And that's some of what you saw. The K2 meter was being held by Lloyd, and I was holding the tri-field meter. And I told Mamie I loved her, and the thing jumped off the chart. She was there. Now, I think that when we first got there, she wasn't necessarily, or maybe she went with us. I don't know how that works. But I can tell you that Stace got several EVP from her, and then she got some more at the house. But I'm telling you right now, it's not that she's angry. It's not that she's out there. She's not vengeful, but she's hurt. I think that she, the thing that you see of us, in the representation that we do of her crying, I think that's very real. I don't think that she was ever truly happy in her life. Or maybe she had bouts of it. That's the feeling I get with her. But when I was up there holding that tri-field meter, I broke down. I had never felt so sad in my life.
That's how she felt, how they did her.
But I never felt so loved. I had this warm feeling come over. And Stace caught this EVP of Mamie asking, I suppose it was me, can I give you a hug? And I told Stace to tell her, and hoping that Mamie heard it.
You were standing beside me when I did the EVPs.
Yeah, and I said, you never have to ask me for a hug. Just do it. Yeah. And my God, the feeling of love I had was incredible.
Right.
And she was so beautiful. But, when I took on this little project, I didn't want to tell a ghost story.
Mm-mm.
There's plenty of those out there. Yes, that's right, Brian. It was called Trace Mountain Road. And as a matter of fact, a lot of people back then called it the Hill. But yes, it was named Trace Mountain Road. And I'm not really sure when they changed it to 22 Mine Road, but it was named after number 22 Mine, because if I'm not mistaken, I think they paid to have the whole thing paved. But anyway, um, it's going to be Al's Lounge in Richwood, Virginia. They're actually going to watch the whole thing when it debuts. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that, brother. Because I want her story out there, and please tell them to share it with people. It's not going to cost anybody anything to watch it. I'm doing this because I love Mamie. I think that she was misrepresented. She was misunderstood. Her name was dragged through the mud. And we all know that the rich and the powerful, they'd never do anything like that. This particular group of people were a flock of assholes, and they deserve to be called out on it. And I am calling them out on it, even though I have been threatened in EVP by them. I think Jack has threatened me. I think the Harry, as if Harry could stick his finger up his ass with a road map in a Google map session. You know, he's too much of a wuss. I think that Louise had something in on it. And I do think that Clarence was innocent of killing her, but I do think he was guilty by association, because at some point he could have stepped in and at least tried to stop it. But he did take her body up there. He admitted that in prison. He did take her body up there. And Stace, you saw it. What did the site look like where she lay? What did it look like to you?
It looked like a trash dump.
Thank you. That's why I say she was dumped like trash.
What a friend. What a friend was he. What a great friend.
Do you realize what I'd do if somebody tried to hurt you? By God, they'll have to kill me. They'll have to kill me first.
Listen, I'd snipe them out. They ain't going to outsmart me.
Shit, I'll take
them every one out.
I'll take life in prison. I'll take life in prison to save your life. That's 3 hots in a cop. They just need to keep me at a gym pop, because you know what they do to guys my size in prison. Hey, Chris, come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantical. Oh, hell no. No, we ain't doing that. But you all see the point. This is why we're doing it. It will be June 22nd, we hope, when it gets released, barring any delays. But it has been a real issue learning this stuff. And because we have literally took pictures of Mamie, pictures of Jack, pictures of Harry, pictures of Louise, pictures of Clarence, and we have AI'd them and brought them back to life. This is exactly what most of them look like. Now, the pictures that we're showing on Mamie right now is probably her when she's about 19 or 20, and she got married to Jack when she was 20. She was killed when she was just a few months shy of being 32. Did she change and looks a little bit? Yeah, and you're going to see that progress throughout the film. You're going to see her going from the way that you know her to look right now, which if I can yank this up there, where is my baby? I'm sorry, guys. I got to show this because I just absolutely love this. Yeah. I love that. Somebody sent that to me. I just absolutely love that. But you're going to see her going from looking like that to looking like she actually did at the time of her death. And she was still a very beautiful lady. She was still a very vibrant, very pretty woman. She loved animals. She loved kids. She would spend bukus of her time at Nybert Church helping kids with Sunday school lessons and all kinds of things like this, and bake sales, raising money for the people that didn't, because you're talking about the middle of the Great Depression. There wasn't exactly a lot of money flowing around, even in Logan. And at that time, Logan had as much money flowing through it as New York, Wall Street. But there still wasn't a lot of money going around. You always had that great big gap between the haves and the have-nots. Mm-hmm. And Mamie would go out there and she would help organize bake sales, and she would bake and she would cook and she would do things for people and trying to help them out because she understood the value of giving and she loved that. And then somebody took that from her. And it all started because I think, speculation, but I think that she was raised in an environment with an alcoholic father who ignored her and abused her, possibly in more than one way. She married a guy 16 years her senior who was, for lack of a better word, pretty much a prick. So I don't really know about much in the line of abuse there, but I got a feeling, yeah, it's entirely likely. I think Stace feels that it was abuse. And she just wanted to feel loved and needed. And who doesn't? Everybody wants to feel important. They want to feel like they're loved. They want
She
to feel
never
like
had
they're
that.
accepted. And she never had that. And she was looking for it. And along comes her landlord slash whatever, Harry. And he knew exactly how to play her like a harp.
Yes.
He gave her that attention. He gave her that
Yes.
loving feeling. He was after one thing, and he got it. And then after that, it was whatever. Apparently, he didn't want to get rid of it because his wife had found out about the affair and came to him and said, or quit this or else, and he just couldn't seem to quit it.
Yeah, especially pregnancy involved.
Yeah, and we do think that too. And that was something else in 1932. I don't know if back in that era they actually checked for that being a possibility, but Stace seems to believe it, and so do I, because all the external facts point to it. As far as motive and manipulation, all these things point to something more than just, well, Louise was letting him get away with it because back in that time, if you were married to a powerful man, he did whatever he wanted to do, and you were at home with the kids, cooking, clean, doing whatever. Keep in mind the time frame here, 1930s, 1932. Not like it is today. But when he came to her and said, I think I got Mamie pregnant. Oh, she lost it. She went off the damn deep end. And basically, she looked at him, and I do agree with Chelsea on this. She said, look, your money is my money. Only she wasn't nearly as calm. She said, your money is my money. I've got the kids. I will own the house, and your reputation will be ruined. Well, again, 1932, if your reputation is scandalous, and that's exactly what it would have been, people found out, well, you got somebody else pregnant, a cop's wife pregnant, then your reputation is everything, especially when you're the head of a bank, you're the head accountant at a public library, and you are the president of the city council. Number one, you're going to get voted out of the council. Number two, the bank's probably going to get rid of you because their reputation is everything. That's how they make their money. And number three, ain't nobody going to want to have nothing to do with you. So his thing at the library, which was a City Hill position, by the way, and the council was a voted position, he was going to lose everything. He had everything to lose, a lot of motive floating around in that town at the time. So briefly tonight, Stace, because we ain't got a lot of time left, but if you want to reach out to Mamie for a few seconds and see if she, because I'm sure she has been in here with me when we have been going and making these things. And let me tell you, I have seen so far times when I'm up at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning working on this, times when I'm up at 1 or 2 o'clock. And I'm not the only one. Stace has helped with it. Crystal has done a bulk of the AI work by, I'll tell her, hey, this is what I want. This is what I'm seeing. And she makes this come to life. Now, there's a few of them that I've done, but a lot of them she has done. So, but before we get to there, a great big hi to Kinky and the Brain, Pagan Angel, number 7. Firewater, my buddy Brian is in here. Crystal is in there. Big hi to her. Sharon Grass, Baron. I just think Kinky and the Brain is so, I love that name. This is, we are going back on Facebook, because look, the more people that know about this story and the things that we're doing now, the better it's going to be. And Brian, again, I can't thank you enough for, having the people, get together at the pub, whatever it is, and watching this. I think it's going to be awesome. And I hope everybody is really happy with it. There's nothing like Facebook on it right now because everybody is, ooh, the ghost of 22 Mine Road. Ooh, this isn't that. I say right at the beginning of it, if you're looking for a ghost story, this ain't it. Oh, yeah, the Gilda thing. I hope that you guys did enjoy Gilda. I had a lot of people in there saying, that's boo. I think Candace said that was the best haunted doll story so far. Kind of funny because when I started off with it, I didn't know exactly how this was going to turn out. I was like, I read your story and you told me the story that you were going to do. And of course, I did my little part of the intro and how I felt about it. But the first time I saw that doll turn its head and smile, I said, "Holy shit!" I said, "I can just see Lloyd now going."
Kind of get you in the feels, don't it? Yay!
There it is. Yeah, I can see him doing that right now. It wasn't gonna fly. So, and also, let's see here. Of course, my Chelsea bug. I love my Chelsea. Candace, a big hi to Candace. I think I said hey to Sharon. Yeah. And coming soon, once you guys get an idea of what the Appalachian story of Between Two Worlds is like, you're going to get a pretty good idea of something that's very similar that's going to be coming for April. And I've already talked to Debbie. We're also going to do one for Amber and a few others that are in the mix on down the line here, but we'll get into that. My God, let's get past this one first, should we? And I want to do it justice, and if I have to slide the release date back a few days to do Mamie justice, then by hell I will, because she's worth it to me. I love that woman. I adore her. And yes, it makes my heart thump when I see that picture of she and I together. It does. Kim Hamilton, it's so good to see you again, Kim. Madonna, Don, as she is known in friendly circles. And I think I've covered almost everybody. Yeah, the doll is Lloyd will tell you that some of these dolls are spine chilling, and people apparently are watching Fur and Away because they're reaching out to Stace now from places like Iowa about coming to the like paranormal thingy majiggers,
Paracon things,
Paracon
shows like that.
Yes, James Paul, Prim, JP, Kayla, my Kayla bug, Kayla Savage. And anyways, Carla Arms, hello to you. And I just want to say hi to you guys because it's been
Candace broke.
Huh?
Candace. She wrote that. That's how Stacia feels about ticks. I have Lyme's disease, y'all. Recently diagnosed this week. Alpha-Gal. It's been awful.
Yeah, like
we are ate up with ticks around here.
Like you ain't got enough going on. Yeah.
I
know you killed one up there at 22 Mine Road the other day, best of my memory.
All right at my back.
Yep. Damn things. But anyways, with that being said, Stace, if you want to open up the box for a few minutes.
We got it open right now.
Yeah. Okay, then go ahead and turn it up and see if Mamie will come through. And whatever time is left, baby, is all yours. Do your thing.
Okay. If anybody else wants to come through, we've been talking to Mamie this whole time. We opened up for her before we started. Come through. It is open wide. I'm here. Okay, you're here. I'm glad you are here. Can you tell me what your name is?
Are you my Mamie?
I think she just answered you.
What'd she say? I missed it.
She sounded like you said, yes, I'm home. Are you with Chris tonight, Mamie?
This can be your home, Mamie.
And you can always come through and don't worry about anybody trying to stop you.
No.
Dealing with her having a little bit of a problem.
I just heard my
name. What'd she say? Don't worry, Chris.
That's what she said. That's what it sounded like. I came in about 53 minutes.
I mean, is this the way that you want your story told? The way that we're telling it? Yeah. Can you answer me, Mamie? He said, Mamie. Did you hear that? If anybody else wants to come through for anybody that's in our chat room, Stacia. You hear that?
She's saying your name, yeah. Well, the other day, Lloyd was holding that
Um,
K2 meter and it lit up like a Christmas tree. And then my trifield, or the trifield that's yours that I was holding, Lloyd, did that meter not peg?
That was crazy.
Yeah, it went nuts.
Can you hear that okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sound like it was cutting out on me. Kayla, I'd love to reach out to my papa Roger and tell him that his sister will be joking him very soon. Papa Roger, can you come through for Kayla? Can you come through using your voice? I heard Mamie too, Chelsea. I heard him. Me too. Me too. Yeah. Is there anything you want to tell the people, Mamie?
Baby, I know you're not a ghost. You're a person. You're a human being. That is such a sweet voice.
I've heard Mamie come through a couple of different times now. The actual name Mamie.
I always kind of pictured her voice as being very soft and very, very sweet. A bit southern, which I like.
Oh no, Chills. We have to get you some new ones, baby. Hey, Sophie.
I will get you some new headphones, Sweet Pea.
Heard Don't Cry, Chris. There's 3 inside.
Too late, baby. But I cry because I love you. And I know that you were done wrong.
Love you, Chris.
I love you too.
You don't have to cry. You can come. You can come through. You're protected here.
Maybe I can honestly say that you are finally, honestly, and truly loved. Unfortunately, I was born.
You are not. He just said you are not.
Yes, she is.
Here we go.
And as far as you egotistical son of a bitch, why don't you lay back down and go to sleep?
She told him to go.
Yes. But Mamie, you are loved.
This is her home. She is welcome here. You aren't.
Yes, that's true. Exactly. Thank you.
My name. Mm-hmm.
Your name? Well,
Yeah.
you were there with us, Lloyd. I mean, you were up there with you. Lloyd was standing right beside of me with a K2 meter. And even, yeah, Lloyd's done this with Stacia for a long time, and even he was surprised when that meter went. When I tell her I love her.
I mean, you wouldn't expect it to go off in BFE. You know?
Well, and there's no power lines around there, were there, Lloyd?
Nothing
The
anywhere.
power source around us was my vehicle, and it was what, Lloyd? Would you say 30, 40 yards away? And it wasn't running. And it, yeah, at least, and it wasn't running.
I was talking to her just as like I'm talking to you all, and that's the only thing that was going on, and she was listening and responding the best that she knew how.
Yeah.
She knew we were coming there. I told her we were coming there. So she knew it. I don't think she hangs out at that spot. I do not think that she is there.
No. But when her body was found on June 22nd, 1933, she was laying head first down a hill, her feet up the hill, and Stace was right there. Stace was right there. Right
above. I can see that outline of where she
couch land or a love seat or something there now.
Made me sick. We were all sick, she said.
Yeah, we were. Candace said she heard bite me. Well, whoever said bite me, I'll do you one better than that. I'll send you straight to hell on a shutter. Yes, I rebuke him.
He said no.
Yeah, I rebuke you.
He said, I'll break you.
Well, you just go right ahead and give it your best shot. I got the power of God on my side.
That's right. He said some other male said he doesn't like that.
What, that I've got the power of God on my side?
Yeah, somebody else was taking it for you.
Yeah. No, he doesn't like it because he knows where he's headed. And there's not a thing he can do about it. He had every chance in life to do what was right, and he didn't. I got a feeling I know who it is.
Mm-hmm. You, me both. Same one that probably slipped her the Valiums or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Mamie, were you drugged?
Chelsea said she heard, please don't go. Well, we can stay on a little bit later tonight, Stacia. It just depends on how you feel. Because, I mean, after all, we did take up 30 minutes. So.
Yeah, we'll take a couple more minutes out.
Okay, baby.
What is it? Yeah, I already called that for him. Oh, okay. Wake up.
There's blood, Sophie heard. Sophie heard there's blood. And
there's none now. There isn't any.
No. And tell my Sophie
it's blessed. I blessed the site before I left.
And then we had a moment of silence in honor of Mamie.
Mamie, can you tell me if what our suspicions are if you were drugged? Whether they slipped something in your drink or Mamie. Pills. There you go.
What I heard it.
9 o'clock. Pills. Thank you for coming through. You know, you've always got my energy, and I will always protect you. And you know that Chris will always protect you as well. Chris. It's crazy, they're not. It is. Mamie, who slipped you the pills?
You know, Stace, that would explain how they got her down into the basement.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought it might have been lies.
You want something done quietly?
I kind of thought it might have been lies and luring, but that would explain it.
Exactly.
That's an even better theory than what I had. Yeah.
Remember, I told you whenever I made like a connection to her, it was all fuzzy.
Yeah.
Trying to ask her questions about what happened, and it was all fuzzy. And to me, it felt like that was what would be just zonked by somebody would feel like.
Yeah, because if she was on some kind of pills, her mind would be
it was a handful.
Fuzzy. Yeah. Her mind would be fuzzy.
Oh, there's Sister Angie.
It's just again.
Chris again.
It's like
we're always here for you, Mamie, honey. You know that he can't hurt me. Chris, something tell him he can't hurt me.
No, he can't hurt you, baby. You're surrounded by love.
Love and light, you know this always. Damn right.
I just really hope that you like the way that we're doing it.
Mamie, can you tell me who? Can you tell me who gave you those pills? Do you know? You may not.
Oh, she may not.
I died. I'm very sorry about that. We're going to try to put some truth to all this.
Sophie heard Chris help me. Of course I will, baby. I'll do everything I can. Anything I can.
Jackie.
Jackie. Jack.
She call him Jackie?
That I don't know. I've not seen any evidence of that, but it's entirely possible.
Plain as day. There you go. That's who slipped her the pills. Pills.
Pills. Jackie. That's a nickname of Jack. It's a form of.
My Jackie.
Sophie heard Chris help me. Yes. Okay. And Chels heard either held me or help me.
Right. I don't believe that, Jack. I don't think that you're with her. He said, I'm with her. I think that you probably were paid back from what you dished out. It's called karma.
And it's very real. Karma is real.
And I think you got a dose of it.
Not big enough, but
no,
but,
nothing's big enough for taking
you
somebody's
got a
life
little
out.
bit of time to go. It's called eternity. So
Yeah, enjoy.
Candace asks if she would like to move to the lot. I'm going to let Stace answer that one. I
already asked her about that. She said no. She wants to stay.
Okay.
Remember that?
Well, God does give us. I think God does give us that choice.
She's not ready. She says she's not ready.
Yeah, there's the whole free will thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think also she wants to see this through. And then also I think you factor into it too.
Maybe. I hope.
That night you came over and we did some work.
Yeah. Sophie just heard that's right to the karma thing. Yeah.
Listen, baby, I know what's going on. I will always do what's right for you, Mamie. I will be that voice.
I was up late again the other night, and I told her that she could come to me and just wrap her arms around me, and just imagine, just feel me wrapping my arms around her. Candace said she heard Jack.
Yeah. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. Thank you for helping us.
And maybe there is one other thing that you could do to help us when this thing does come out. Somehow, make sure people see it. Make sure they run across it. Because everybody's always searching up your name, but even when they don't, they search up the ghost of 22 Mine Road. You know this, and you're not a ghost. But let them search that, let them find it, and let them watch it so they can see you are not a ghost. No.
You're an angel.
Yeah, and a really good looking one, too. I gotta say, you're beautiful.
And you're a beauty.
You are totally hot.
True mountain beauty.
You are gorgeous.
She sounded like she was crying.
Well, the first time I laid eyes on her, I thought she was beautiful.
I think she said thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, baby. What I wouldn't give just to be able to reach out and cross sides and just hold her hand. Kiss
Jack,
her.
how do you feel about the whole situation now that we know what's up? How do you feel about it?
Surely he couldn't think that the truth was going to stay buried forever.
No,
but then again, if brains were gasoline, you're talking about somebody that wouldn't have enough to run a piss ants go-kart 2 laps around a Cheerio. So it's
how hard was it for you to get those pills and give those to her? That poor little thing.
That would have been nothing for him. That would have been nothing.
Poor little thing. How could you do that? How could you? He shot me in the head too.
I believe that 2 rounds, and I got this feeling that Louise is the one that cut her.
Puss move.
My only thing is I don't know what come first. Was it the gunshot or was it the slashing? But I do think that her neck was broke probably before any. I think somebody pushed her. She fell and broke her neck. And then after that, it's debatable as to did the gunshots come or did the come.
Mamie, which one came first? The knife to your throat, or did they shoot you first?
If you want to talk about it, baby. If you want to tell us.
Tell me everything. Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Mamie. Tell me everything.
Brian, the answer to your question is yes. He said, are you all going to do one of April like you're all doing about Mamie? Yes. Yes, we are, Brian. And then there's going to be one done on Amber.
Something about he don't like it.
Of course you don't like it.
Mamie, tell me. Did he slit your throat or shoot you first? Slit.
So that would have been, that does kind of line up.
Yeah, and she didn't pass away fast enough for him.
Yeah,
and they got the gun out.
And I think that Jack may have done it as kind of a bit of a mercy killing, but more revenge. And he put two in her head.
Exactly. He said, "How did he know that, man?"
I told you, there's God on my side. Now, God doesn't come to me and give me all the answers, but he gives me feelings.
Are you scared of judgment, Jack? Let's just get down to business.
Good question.
Man, you should be. Her bitch. Tell me whatever you want.
Well, Jack called me a bitch too, but here's the kicker. If you're really afraid of judgment, the first thing you can do is go to Mamie and ask for her forgiveness. Then you go to God and ask for his forgiveness. Jesus has pulled people straight out of the gates of hell. But now, if you're really serious about this, people in this life may not forgive you, but that's not what you're looking for. But the first thing you got to do is seek forgiveness from Mamie. And then you seek forgiveness from God. Because let me tell you, Mamie can forgive you for what you did to her, and God can forgive you to what you have did against.
She's laughing about that. Bet you she don't want to forgive him.
And that's Mamie's right. You don't have to. I'm not going to try to convince her either way. That's entirely up to her. All I'm going to tell Mamie is that I love her, and I'm here for her.
We're here for you, Mamie.
And I do think that she was absolutely incredibly beautiful and very sweet and very kind.
He said good. She said she was good and sweet.
Yes, she was. Yeah, I believe that. And I think that the people that drug her name through the mud are the people that also need to pay the most.
Does anybody else want to come through with Mamie or come through for anybody in the chat room with me?
I heard Chris again. I think I heard Chris.
Chris, babe. To the male who keeps trying to throw derogatory remarks at it. You say whatever you want. It doesn't mean anything.
Why don't we just put some hair around you and call you a pussy?
Works for me.
Because that's exactly what you are. Go ahead.
He said he ain't going to whoop me. Did you hear that?
Was that Mamie that said that?
No, it was a male. Oh. He said he ain't going to whoop me. Country. Well, what about me? I don't care to give you a country ass whipping.
Well, you keep running that cock holster. Let's see what it gets you. Because when this comes out, and it may not happen overnight. It may not happen in a week. It may not happen in 2 weeks, but people will know and they will start to think on their own. And they will start to realize that all of this stuff in this film makes sense. And that Clarence, do what, baby? And they will realize that Clarence Stevenson, an innocent man, went to prison for something he did not fully commit. Now, he may have had a hand in it. Yeah, he took money up there and dumped her like trash. And if it was him that dumped her like trash, yeah, I think he paid for that. But I do not think that Clarence is the one who actually did the murder.
No, but he still was.
And after all this is done,
had a terrible part of it.
Yeah.
To be a trusted friend.
after all this is done, then maybe the people will start talking in town and not be afraid anymore.
Who could be afraid of her?
No, I mean,
No, Lloyd's right. I get where he's coming from. It's like, when we walked in there the first time I went to Logan, and I asked the girl at a gas station if she knew exactly where it was that Mamie Thurman had lived. She acted as though she didn't know who Mamie Thurman was, even though she looked at me like she did know. But
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this. And we're talking about 94, 93, 94 years after the fact. But it was still so powerful that it hangs over the town like a cloud. That's the feeling I got, and I think Lloyd did too when we went in to get some sausage.
Right.
Candace.
God, I love her. She is so awesome.
Oh my God, I could be feeling terrible, and I swear she's gonna make me laugh.
There's a family in this bunch that is.
I love you all so much.
They can't be beat, not on one of them. Brian, Chelsea, my Sophie Bug, Candace.
Oh, Harry Balls there.
Donna. That's what we call him. Harry Balls. That's what we're going to call him.
Jack, do you like your new nickname, Harry Balls? Or is it Harry?
Did you have any to start with, Jack? It's okay. It's okay to be a eunuch. It's okay, Jack. Maybe we shouldn't even call you Jack. Maybe we should call you Finger Titus.
Cerberus. What's his name?
Wait a minute. Hang on here.
Cerberus. He was a eunuch.
Spectacles, testicles, watch. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't have any respect. And tell me, Jack, how often did you, and how often, if you did you hit on Mamie? Or did you like smack her around? Or
I thought you was going to say something else. He's going to hit his ball.
Oh, that shit's funny right there.
Jack, I must know the answer to this.
Did he say miss me?
I thought he said pussy.
Maybe he's talking to Jack.
There seems to be one male presence in there that's
that is for Mamie. Yeah,
that's taken up for her.
But I love hearing her voice.
Yeah, Carla. We were talking about Candace's remark down here.
Yeah, the remark that the wonderful Candace made, and it came straight out of nowhere, and it was a good one. And I have to agree with her. I really do.
Mamie, do you agree with us on this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought I just heard Jack.
Never look at him the same way again now.
No. You'll see in the film that
he did something to it at night, she said.
We kind of paint him as somebody that you would not be surprised to see him being a bully.
He done something to himself at night, she said. And then she said, Jack. I don't even want to think. No, but I just thought I heard.
Did he beat it like it owes him money?
No, I heard something that was
Something that would piss me off.
Repeat that again. That's what Jack did at night. And I'll repeat it if you tell me if you repeat what you said.
This may not be for kids, by the way.
This is definitely not for kids. I'm going to private chat. You curious?
All right. This is going to be good.
Hold on. Holy shit, she said. Holy shit. Well, everybody just want to say shit or get something, get it off your chest. If everybody wants to say a little something, I mean. Chelsea said their hair is slit.
I think that goes back to about her throat being slit first, I think. Then again, I may be wrong.
I give up tonight, boys.
You know what? And that is one of the things I find so beautiful and so loving about Mamie is I think she had a sense of humor. I think that she was just great. She didn't care to call it out. She, on top of being completely hot. Rubbing his own nipples? Okay, why am I seeing Farmer Fran and Waterboy?
Now, Jack, is that true? Yep.
Was it a tad bit nipply, Jack?
Lord help us.
Oh, Lord, I don't know. Yes, I am giving him hell, Mamie. Because to me, he should have been the one to protect you.
She said, this is amazing.
And make you feel safe. You know, when I was growing up, my mom told me that there's two ways to a woman's heart. Make her laugh and make her feel safe.
And get her a Choco.
Yes. Every girl needs a Choco.
Well,
I see that you've got 120 some pounds of one. So it's
him a tiny boy.
Tiny boy. I'd hate to see what she considers a big dog.
He was a little premature baby. Yeah, he was.
He's almost crushed Lloyd twice that I know of. Maybe 3 times.
Yeah, he is the ball crusher.
Well, she didn't care to say it, did she? He's just a great big bucket of love.
And then you see who's squished up over here on the.
Oh yeah, Enzo's back there. Yeah, looks like he's dreaming right now. I just saw his little back paw moving, like he's moving and running and jumping. He's having doggy daydreams. So
she couldn't see Candace's remark. She missed Candace's remark. That's what it was.
Well,
I'd like to thank everybody for coming through the spirit box for me. Is there anything anybody wants to say before we close up?
We hope that if you're new here that you'll like and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Please do.
And the Darkest Stories episode 6 will be on YouTube tonight in about 30 minutes. It's already uploaded, scheduled to be released. So whether it's later on tonight or tomorrow or whenever you want to watch it, it's there for you. And you can thank 606 Paranormal for that and Stacia. The Darkest Stories were her idea. And I had no idea that they would do what they're doing, which people are very. Don't apologize, Candace. Hell, be real about it. Yeah. But I think that Stace had a wonderful idea with it, and they're great now. So, and soon we will begin on episode 7, probably after we get done working with Mamie's story, because that right now is going to take precedence for me. That's a big deal. And then we'll do a Darkest Story 7, maybe 8. And then after that, we're going to begin work on April's. We've already got some things done for April's. And I'm going to get her mom involved on this pretty heavily, Sharon, because nobody knows April's story quite like Sharon.
Oh,
if there was somebody that was a close second, I'd say it'd be Stace, because Stace been involved with us for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people that I just want to tell the story, and I want to tell it right, and I want to do justice. Because even though I did not know Mamie in this life, I did know April. But I feel now like I do know her very much. I feel like I know her very much. So, but with that being said, we will call it a night, and hope that you guys will come back next Thursday and bring some people with you. And yeah, Brian, keep spreading the word out there because
Yeah, we appreciate it, bro.
Mamie Thurman is the second most famous story in West Virginia behind the Greenbrier ghost. And I think her name was Hester or Zona or something like that. But I don't look at Mamie as a ghost. I look at her as a person. I look at her as a human being. I look at her as a woman. I look at her as a sister, a half sister. I look at her as, well, I really don't look at her as somebody's wife because if that was somebody's wife, they'd have done anything and everything to protect her. That's just my thought. But I do look at her as a friend of a lot of people. I look at her as she was very strong in the community. She was well respected by a lot of people and loved by a lot. And she made a lot of people jealous just based on the fact that she was beautiful. And she had a really wonderful sense of style. She always dressed very nicely. She took good care of herself. And there's times I can smell some kind of like a flowery perfume that she would have wore. And anyways, my point is I don't look at her as a ghost. I look at her as a person. And I can almost feel that hug that she gave me that day up there where Stace and Lloyd and Crystal and I were at. And man, I'm telling you, I've never had anything like that in my life. Never. But she hit me right straight in the heart. And
she will if you let her. She sure will. You just got to be open to it, and every time.
Yeah, and be honest with it and go up there with it. I think one of the things you said when you opened up, when your session was, we come here, or, that we were here out of a pure heart. You can't go up there looking for a ghost. I went up there looking for Mamie. I didn't go up there looking for a ghost. I went up there looking for my Mamie.
Right.
And found her. And Stace found her. And, well, Lloyd, his K2 meter was jumping. The lights, it lit up like a Christmas tree.
It was all around us that day.
She was even Crystal looked at me, and Crystal was like, my God. She said, I feel so.
She always comes through for me. Every time I ask her to come through, she will come through.
Well, you're also gifted and you're talented in that respect. Not everybody is.
She trusts us.
Yeah. But I want to tell her story, and I want to earn that trust, and I want to keep that trust going.
So be it.
That's what I want. So, yeah, Candace said, just listening. So, guys, thank you to everybody who came through tonight. And I'm sorry to have to cut us off, but we went 30 minutes over. But then again, I took up 30 minutes of time by telling episode 6, which I think was worth it.
It was
good. Then, of course, we had things like this, and I wanted to, I can never get enough of hearing from Mamie. I can't. So, but with that being said, next Thursday, we hope, and do us a favor. If you're not on the Mountain Mysteries Facebook page, please subscribe. None of this stuff costs you anything. And tell people about it. Get them to subscribe too. 606 Paranormal, they got a great Facebook page. It's awesome. It's got all kinds of cool stuff on there.
Paranormal.
And I want to give heads out to Kansas too.
Yes, she's learning. She's got the AI course now.
Yeah. Some of the artwork she's been doing.
She is
for 606 Paranormal. It's been wonderful.
Appreciate you, sister.
She said, peace out. I'm going to
love you.
Go to bed. Love you guys. Oh, gosh, I love
it. Squad.
Y'all have a good night. We love you, and we will see you next Thursday at about 8 p.m. So until then, may God bless you. And know that just because they're not here with you in this life doesn't mean they're not with you. They are very much with you. We love you, and as always, stay mysterious.